This is an entirely unplanned video. I had no idea this video would ever exist, but here we are. That's kind of the reason I don't look fully put together. I just had an absolutely wild experience that I figured I should make a video about because it's just patently stupid. It is the Spirit Halloween season, and there is one that just recently opened up really close to where I live. And I had in my head the plan for a few YouTube videos, and I figured since today's my day off from work, why don't I run a few errands and also run to Spirit Halloween and see if there's anything I can use for props in Halloween videos. So I decided I was gonna make 3 stops today. I'm gonna go to the pawn shop and sell some of my old electronic equipment that I don't need anymore. Then I was gonna go to Spirit Halloween and try and pick up some Halloween stuff. And then end at a thrift store. I have some ideas about me and my boyfriend's Halloween costume that I think would be the easiest to get at a thrift store. So those were my 3 stops for the day. And as you can tell by the title of this video, that didn't exactly go to plan. In fact, I didn't end up going to the thrift store at all because I was trapped for what felt like forever at Spirit Halloween. So let's start from the beginning. Since I decided I was going to sell a bunch of electronic equipment, including an old laptop of mine that I don't use anymore, I went ahead and got that all sorted into like a big plastic tote, and I got the charger for the laptop, charged it up enough for it to turn on, then turned it on and started the factory reset sequence. This took way longer than I was imagining. It took like close to 45 minutes for the computer to turn itself on and delete everything and go through a full factory reset. So it's eating a little bit into my time because I was already planning on recording a video, just a more in-depth video involving a lot of props. So I was like, okay, well, it's a little bit annoying that's eating in my schedule, but it's whatever. It's not the end of the world. So 45 minutes later than what I was expecting, I finally get out the door with my big tote of electronic equipment. I head to the pawn shop first. I bring in my big tote of stuff, and I'm like, here's some stuff. Besides the laptop itself, I also ended up selling an old pair of like wireless earbuds and a tiny mini fridge that I've never used. They gave me $5 a piece for the headphones and the mini fridge, which is very annoying because I saw their little resale sticker. They immediately resold my headphones for $25, so fuck me, I guess. But I mean, it's whatever. $5 is better than nothing, and also it's out of my house. So the laptop was a different story. I didn't realize they were gonna want to get the specs from the laptop, which meant that it would have to be, available for them to mess with the settings. So they had me set up the computer as if it was like a brand new computer that I was resetting for myself. I had already reset the computer, but Windows had to reinstall. Microsoft Office had me log in again. They had to connect to their Wi-Fi. It was a whole conundrum. It was a whole deal. It was kind of a long time to get the computer basically reset up as if it's ready for use. Then, after they got all the specs they need, we had to do the resetting sequence all over again. It took so long. It took a really long time. So it's a little bit annoying. It's eating into my schedule more, right? But I'm like, whatever. But I was like, it's whatever. The rest of the day is just shopping, and shopping is something that I control how long it takes. At least that's what I thought when I left the house. Long story short, the laptop ends up finally getting completely reset. I cannot leave until the thing is completely reset. It's a liability or something about them possibly having access to my files. The computer gets reset. I had some old spare monitors that they're like, these are not even good enough quality for us to sell them. So they had me and one of the workers take them back outside and completely smash them, which was weird, but it's whatever. I can finally leave. So I take my plastic tote, put it in the car, and I drive like 2 minutes down the road to Spirit Halloween. It's 3:30 on a Friday. Nobody's here. It's great. There's like one car full of teenagers, which is annoying, but it's whatever. I'm looking around the store. I'm kind of grabbing things here or there that might work for the video, as well as fun decor for the house because I love Halloween. And then also some odds and ends that might work well for Halloween costumes. And so I finally do all of my shopping. I get everything I need into my basket, or not even my basket, I was just holding it in my arms. And I walk up to the front to check out, as you would. Any normal person would do this. Now from the pawn shop, I had a total of $80, $70 from the laptop and $5 from each of the other 2 things that I ended up being able to sell. So I walk up to the register as a normal person would do, and the cashier begins to ring up all my items. The first time he rings up my items, only 4 scan, and then for some reason the rest of them won't scan. So he has to redo them all again. This time he's scanning them all. Oh, but he missed one, so he just exited us out of the order instead of just adding it on. I think he was already at the charge tab or something. I don't know. But we have to do it a 3rd time. It's whatever. Again, not that big of a deal. The most minorly annoying thing, but it's like, okay. The 3rd time he rings it up, total comes to about $140. Not an issue at all. I say, I would like to give you $80 and put the rest on my cart. Can we do that? He says, no problem. Because it shouldn't really be a problem. This is a very normal thing that happens all the time. So I take out my $80 in cash. He enters into the POS system, $80 in cash. The drawer does not automatically open. If you've worked retail, this is very normal. the drawer will not open until the end of the exchange or transaction is the word I was looking for. So the drawer does not automatically open and he starts freaking out. I assume because he's used to the drawer just opening every time he gets cash. Because, spoiler, this video is going to come out in October, but this is happening the first week of September. So he might just not be used to it because he was a teenager. This might be his first job. It seems like he was like a relative of the people working there. So I don't know, he's just never done this before or what, but he was very confused that the drawer did not just automatically open. And I verbally out loud said, I think you have to wait till the transaction is finished. I don't know if he didn't hear me or what. That place was so fucking loud. It was so incredibly loud. They had all their animatronics up near the very front of the registers. So as this entire madness that I'm about to tell you is going on, in the back of your mind, you have to picture screaming and laughing and all these Halloween noises blaring volume. So fucking loud, just blaringly loud right behind as I'm trying to figure out this craziness with these teenage employees. So I mentioned that he probably has to wait till the transaction is finished. He probably doesn't hear me because it's loud as shit. So he turns to the girl that's also working with him that I think were brother and sister. It was a little bit confusing. So he turns to the other girl that's working there, also a teenager. So he turns to the girl next to him and he's like, hey, I tried to do a split transaction. I took the cash, I punched in the cash, the drawer didn't open. What do I do? And so she comes over and she goes, let me try, and does the same thing. She also tells the POS system that she's putting in $80 in cash, and surprise, surprise, the drawer opens. I'm hoping some of you can immediately see what the issue is, because I immediately noticed what the issue is. But I've worked a lot of customer service jobs, so I don't know if it's just because I've worked so many customer service jobs or what. But basically, they told the POS system that I had given them $80 in cash twice, 2 separate times. So in general, they told the POS system that I paid them $160 in cash, which was not the case. The drawer opened because they thought I had paid them that much money. So they were quite confused when they got a receipt that printed out that says they owed me around $19. And then they were like, well, wait a minute, you still owe us about $60. And I was like, yeah, yes I do. So they're very confused. They're freaking out. They're calling their managers because I don't know what it is about shitty places to work, which I assume Spirit Halloween is because it's seasonal. I don't know why managers refuse to be there. I talked about this kind of in depth in my story about the figure skating rink, about how managers just refusing to be on site causes so many issues. And as you can see, that was one of the major issues we were running into. So they call their manager, trying to explain what happened and trying to figure out how to fix it. And I am already running like 2 hours behind my schedule in my head. I have had the worst migraine all fucking day. The AC in my car hasn't been working and it's like 98 degrees outside, despite it being fall. I'm like this, like not dressed up to go out, dressed up to run like 3 errands and then come back to the house. And I have these loud ass animatronics just screaming at me from behind me. Just so loud. And now children are starting to filter in because school is now out. Because by the time I get up to the cash register, it's 4 o'clock. So they're trying to call managers, really freaking out, trying to figure out what happened, what's going on. I owe the store money, but now their drawer is gonna be off by $80. So they're frantically calling managers, trying to figure this out. I'm just standing there trying not to fucking lose my shit because my head hurts so bad and it's very loud and children are running rampant all over the place. Hello, I look like a mess right now because I'm currently editing this video and I haven't finished editing it all the way, so I don't know if I say that anywhere in here, but I do want to mention this now. I talk about how I'm like very stressed, very frustrated, and I just said in this clip that I'm about to lose my shit. Never at the employees. I feel like I might say it in this video, but like I said, I haven't finished editing it, so I don't quite remember. But I was never mad at the employees. All of the employees that were in the store were nothing besides helpful, extremely patient, extremely like very sorry, very apologetic. They were amazing. The employees themselves were absolutely amazing. I was getting extremely frustrated and irritated because of 90% of the noise. The noise was really grating on me. I already had a headache. Again, like I said, my car didn't have AC, so I was just sweaty and gross. And like I had been in the store for a while, but sweat, you know, it's like still kind of like gross to walk around after being sweaty and then cooling off. So when I say I was about to lose my shit, I did not mean yelling. I meant like sobbing, like full on having a mental breakdown, sobbing and crying because I was so stressed out. Not like yelling at employees or being upset with the employees. Not mad at them. They were doing the best they can. Even though this was an employee mistake, it's a mistake. Mistakes happen. I mean more like I was about to hysterically start sobbing, like bawling my eyes out because it was just so loud and I had such a miserable headache. I just want to clear that up because I cannot remember if I had already said that in any of these clips, and I just want to make it clear that I have no ill will towards the employees. They were amazing and excellent, and I ended up going back there the following weekend with my boyfriend and his sister. Like, this was like a one-off spoof that I totally understand. It was simply the noise itself that was driving me crazy. I mean, yeah, the issue was frustrating, but 90% the noises. They've only been open for like a week, and half the animatronics are completely destroyed by children. They finally get a hold of one of their managers. Manager says, run it back as a refund and then rescan everything. Easy fix, makes total sense. Nothing's gonna be fucked up after this. So they start the refund. They have to rescan every single item, whatever. The girl doing the refund finishes scanning all of the things. Then she types back $80 refunded in cash, $60 refunded to card, which is not what I gave them, or not what they think I gave them. The whole issue is that they thought that I had given them $160 in cash, or at least that's what the POS system thinks. The goal was to do $80 in cash and $60 on the card. So that might be why she input that, but that is not what they had originally told the POS system. So they refund all the items, but they only refund the $80, and on their little pin pad system, I see like a bunch of negatives, like as if they owe me, and then $60 in the positive, as if I owe them. And I'm like, exactly perfect. That's it. You have your $80. I'm about to give you the $60. That should be it. We should be done. So I say, is this it? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna put my card in this. And she's like, yes, exactly that. We'll have the refund, and then we'll be good to go. And I was like, great. So I take my card, I put it on the thing, and after it goes through, she goes, wait, that was a refund. And I was like, yes, that's what we're doing. You refunded it all so that we can now do the transaction. She goes, no, we just refunded you $60. So what should have happened is she should have refunded the $80 twice so that her drawer was at 0, or like if I had been the only transaction day, the drawer would be at 0, and then we could start over completely from scratch. Instead, she refunded $80 and then also refunded $60 that I did not ever give them. So now everything's extra fucked up, because now I've paid them $80 and they've paid me $60 when I owe them $60. So they bring in a third person, also not a manager, just another person. This person is also trying to figure out what happened. She's trying to count the drawer, trying to make sure the drawer isn't going to be over. And I say, again verbally, since you refunded me $80 after charging me twice for $80, it should be fine. Like, you took 2, but you only needed 1, but then you refunded 1, so we should be good now. The $60 is the only issue. But again, it's so fucking loud. So we're over here talking about math and calculations and who's got to call which manager and how do you get in touch with the POS system, while these loud ass kids and these loud ass animatronic noises are just blaring so fucking loud behind us. Legitimately, this is how the conversation would go. So wait, what exactly happened? What happened to the refund? What's going on? How much money do you owe us? So my total was $140 and I gave you $80 in cash, but then the other person also said $80 in cash, so the register thinks I gave you $160, but I didn't, and I still owe you $60, but also she didn't refund me another $60, so now I owe you $120, but your drawer should be fine because you had 2 80s and now you've only got 1 80, which is correct. Okay, well, it won't let me do anything without the drawer being closed, but I don't want to close the drawer because I want to make sure the drawer is even. But I can't get a hold of any of the managers. And it was just trying to have a conversation with all that fucking noise in the background. Oh my god, it was driving me insane. I finally was able to communicate. It took quite a minute for me to be able to communicate to this new person that your drawer, the cash, everything there is squared. That will not be an issue at all. Because of everything that's been happening, the cash is finally okay. Your drawer is completely fine. After she figures that out, she's able to close the drawer, figure out that they're not over and like all that kind of, or under and all that kind of stuff. They're still trying to figure out to see if they can manually go into their credit card system and tell the credit card system to, I don't know honestly what the goal was. All 3 of them were individually calling separate managers or owners, or I don't know how Spirit Halloween works, how the corporate ladder works there, but each of them individually was like rotatingly calling through people trying to figure out what to do. The girl that was like now in front of me helping me, the other 2 had gone on because there were people at the store, so they were over there like actually checking out other people. So the newest person who had come up and helping me, she was calling I think the big boss, and she was like, I don't know what to do, I'm trying to have the drawer open to cash the drawer, and her boss on the phone with her goes, well, just close the drawer, don't you dare have the drawer open while there are customers there, and hangs up. How is that helpful in this situation? I'm stressed out and frustrated because I'm standing here for fucking forever, but like in all honesty, you just gave me free money and I can leave now. Like, I'm here because I owe you money, not because you owe me money. Like, I feel like some other people would have just fucking left. So I'm annoyed because my schedule's messed up and I've been standing here for, at this point, 40 minutes while your teenagers that you left completely unattended to run a store keep fucking themselves over on accident. But the teenagers themselves, I know, are infinitely more stressed because their job was on the line, they're teenagers, and this is probably one of the first jobs they've ever had. They're handling handling money, which is a big liability. You can get in a lot of trouble when you handle money. So I know they're all completely freaking out, and their managers over the phone are being so fucking unhelpful. And one manager they get off the phone with and they go, she's drunk again, she's not gonna be helpful. Like, I thought my managers at the rink were bad. At this point, it's 4:40 on a Friday, so I can understand maybe getting a little tipsy if you didn't think you were gonna go into work or have to deal with work. But also, if you're the manager / owner of a store, maybe kind of be ready to answer questions. I don't know. So they call a bunch of people. So many people. All 3 of them, again, are rotating through calls on their phone. And I guess they call the big boss. I don't know, again, enough about Spirit Halloween's corporate ladder, but they seemed like this was the last resort. Like, the girl on the phone was almost crying having to talk to this person. Because even I, across the counter with all this blaring bullshit in the background, could hear them yelling down the phone at this kid. I just don't understand how people like that can become managers. Anyways, this manager or owner or maybe like even higher up in the company finally tells them how to solve this issue. We get to the point where they're able to refund things, get it squared away so their drawer is completely, nothing's wrong with their drawer now. Everything's perfect. Now they can rescan all the items, we can start from scratch. So we do it all from scratch. I pay them the $120 I owe them. And that's it for me in this situation. I am now done. It has been an hour of us going back and forth about how to solve this, how much money do I owe you, and you gave me a refund, but you didn't actually hand me back any cash because you don't need to, but also you gave me money on the refund of the card. So like, how do we solve this? So an hour after that, and them being yelled at by their manager, as well as not being able to get a hold of managers or the managers being extremely unhelpful. My part of this is now done. I can finally leave. But that doesn't mean they're done yet, because there's a good chance I was going to have to stay longer if they weren't able to get in touch with that last person. Because the person directly before that last person had told them what they need to do is call the POS company, get them to give them a credit report, take that credit report and email it to somebody else, have that person fix it manually, and have them send back an email, and then they have to call the POS system again. And I think their bank was somehow involved in that. So if they hadn't figured out how to run the refund the way they ended up doing it, I was gonna have to stay until they completely figured out all that shit. Luckily, I got to fucking go home. They're probably still there figuring that out because emails take fucking time and they're gonna have to call like a bunch of different businesses. They're probably gonna be put on hold. I just feel so bad for them because it all started with one mistake. That one mistake turned into 2, so on and so forth, and it snowballed into this whole absolute fucking mess of a situation. But oh my god, I felt like I was just trapped. I couldn't fucking leave. And they were all so nice. They were like, oh my god, thank you so much for being so patient. I'm so sorry this is happening at all. It shouldn't have ever happened. I'm so sorry everything's so bad. I'm like, it's fine. At one point, the second girl that ended up coming up to the counter, she went around and like turned all the volume down on the animatronics because it was so fucking loud. But holy shit, it was a wildly harrowing experience to just go to Spirit Halloween. And what makes it all worse is I was planning this quick trip because I was supposed to meet my mother-in-law back at home to help her with something, but I couldn't do that because I wasn't fucking at home. I ended up leaving the fucking Spirit Halloween after 5. Didn't even go to the thrift store. I just came home. I'm fucking exhausted. I don't want to do anything anymore. I don't even know if I'm gonna record the video that I was planning on recording because I just don't feel good. I'm exhausted and I wasted most of my time of the day with blaringly loud animatronics and children screaming. Maybe I'll take a nap or some headache medicine and see how I feel. But as of right now, holy shit, this wiped me the fuck out. I can't imagine how those poor cashiers are feeling. Like, oh my god, like that, it seems miserable to be in that position. Having your drawer be off, one of the worst experiences ever. But anyways, this is a fun short story about how I was trapped in a Spirit Halloween and it felt like it was never gonna fucking end because every time it felt like there was a fix for it, somebody would make another mistake or something would go wrong or they couldn't get a hold of the person they needed to. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this fun little tale. I hope this doesn't ever fucking happen to anybody ever. God damn. But that's it for me in this video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.